Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Car Conversations with me, Chris. I wanted to take a second and tell you a story. Whenever I'm at the store, out in public, Starbucks, airport, doesn't matter where I am. If I am somewhere and I see a police officer, if I see a service member dressed in uniform, whether it's BDUs or khakis or whatever, or anybody with any sort of veteran hat on, veteran shirt on, I always make it a point to go up to them and say thank you. I want to shake their hand. I want to tell them that they are appreciated, they're loved. I appreciate their service. I appreciate their dedication to protecting freedom, to serving the community, whatever the case may be. And I'm sure a lot of you do that as well. But I was at the store recently, and there was an older gentleman there, and he had a Vietnam veteran hat on, and I was walking down the aisle. I had my cart, and I looked at him. I said, "Sir," and he looked at me. I said, "May I shake your hand?" And he said, "Absolutely." I said, "Thank you so much for your service." And most of the time, the responses and the reactions that I get are, like, "Oh man, thank you," or "Man, thank you so much." I appreciate that. It's always appreciation. But this time, the response was, well, it struck me. I mean, I got emotional. He had a good grip, man. Grip matters. Men, let me just stop for a second. Okay, men. If you're watching this and you're a man or a woman, like honestly, and you don't have a firm handshake and you do one of these, don't do that, man. Point the finger at the forearm, get in there, squeeze. Grip matters. And a good handshake matters. I'll just say that. Like, you don't want to be a floppy handshaker. So, but this guy is an older guy, and you could tell the dude had trained some grip. You know what I'm saying? And so he grabbed me, he pulled me a little closer, and I was wearing this hat. I was wearing one of my obnoxiously American flag hats, which I love so much. Um, Check out gbrsgroupgear.com. Little plug for the boys there. So, but he pulled me in closer and he did like this, and I'm getting closer to the camera because I want you to see what he said, and I'm going to try to replicate how he said it. He said, "Thank you so much, sir. You were worth it." I didn't know how to respond. I didn't know what to say. I'm like, and I just said, "Wow, thank you for that." He said, "Absolutely. God bless you." And he kept walking. And I'm kicking myself now. I should have introduced myself. I should have gotten his name. And just yeah, I hope it's a store I frequent just about every day, and I hope I see him again. And I really do, because I want to get to know this gentleman's name. I want to know his story, because something tells me there's some stories there, right? So, but the point of this episode of Car Conversations is twofold. One, I, I've never heard a veteran respond that way. Like, you were worth it, and it was heartfelt, and it was genuine, and he meant it with all of his being, and you could feel it in the grip. I was like, man, that's incredible. And then I started thinking, I'm like, but am I, like, do I live up to that? Am I the type of American citizen that that is worth it? That's a good question to ask each and every day. Are you worth it? Are you living your life in such a way? And are you the type of citizen of your nation that is worth the sacrifice that that man paid? And I'm sure his friends paid, and his family paid, and all of those who have paid the ultimate price by giving their life to protect my freedoms and me. Am I worth it? Are you the type of citizen that lives up to that sacrifice? And man, it got me thinking. It really did. It got me thinking. So I wanted to share that and ask you that question. Are you the type of American that if somebody looks you in the eye, gets closer to you and says, "You are worth it," you can go, "Thank you. I want to live up to that sacrifice each and every day." And then the other side of that is this as well, is there are there's always something going on politically in our country, always. And it doesn't matter who's in office, whether it's left or right, Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, libertarian, centrist, whatever label you want to put on it. It doesn't matter who's in office. It doesn't matter the administration. It doesn't, I mean, it does. Don't get me wrong. Don't hear what I'm not saying. And it doesn't matter what's going on from a geopolitical standpoint, but as far as it depends on you, as far as it depends on you, are you an everyday patriot? Right? Fantastic question to ask. Fantastic question to ask. So live up to that. Live up to that sacrifice. Be worth it today. Be worth it. And if you're out there and you see a service member, you see a member of law enforcement, make it a point to go up to them and shake their hand. I used to be very trepidatious about doing that. I was very intimidated. I didn't want to offend. I didn't want to encroach upon someone. I didn't want to catch someone off guard. But I tell you what, the more I've done it, the more confident I am, and the more I make it a point to look them right in the eyes and I say, "Thank you so much for your service." Because you know what, ladies and gentlemen, they are worth it. They are worth it. So thanks for tuning into this episode of Car Conversations. Here's your reminder: in everything you think, say, do, and desire, be a pro, be an everyday patriot. Love you guys. Talk soon.